The 2025 NFL Draft is fast approaching, and while the spotlight often falls on potential superstars, the real challenge lies in avoiding the pitfalls of high-risk prospects. This year's class features several players with first-round pedigrees on paper, yet their profiles are marred by concerning red flags, be it injury histories, inconsistent production, or tape that fails to align with their athletic metrics. For the Los Angeles Chargers, holding the 22nd overall pick, this draft represents a critical juncture. Let's dive into the analysis. What's up, Chargers fans? Welcome to the NFL Playbook Chargers. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This channel is all about breaking down everything you need to know about the Bolts. The Chargers enter this draft in a unique position. Bolstered by a robust free agency period, they're no longer forced to address a glaring roster deficiency. This flexibility allows them to target the best player available, but it's a double-edged sword. A misstep at 22 could undermine their trajectory. Are you confident in their decision-making here, or does the risk loom large? What defines a risky prospect in this context? It's a combination of factors: recurring injuries that threaten availability, film that oscillates between elite and underwhelming, or exceptional testing numbers unsupported by on-field results. Consider a hypothetical. A prospect posts a sub 4.4 40-yard dash, but struggles to translate that speed into functional playmaking. That's the fine line teams must navigate. The Chargers have an opportunity to emulate franchises like the Baltimore Ravens or Philadelphia Eagles, who've masterfully leveraged draft flexibility into perennial contention. Can Los Angeles replicate that success? I'd argue they can, with disciplined execution. Your thoughts? At pick 22, the draft board's volatility adds another layer of complexity. A high-upside tight end could slide, or the Chargers might face a choice between a corner with durability concerns and an unpolished edge rusher. Personally, I'd advocate for a trade-down scenario if the value evaporates. Securing additional capital while still landing a contributor could amplify this roster's depth. Do you see that as a viable strategy? Let's examine the key risks the Chargers must sidestep. First, injury concerns dominate the conversation. Availability remains the ultimate ability, and this class features several prospects whose medicals raise alarms. Take Elijah Arroyo, the Miami tight end, a dynamic talent with top 3 potential at his position. His speed and explosiveness shine on tape, exemplified by a 65-yard sprint to celebrate a teammate's score. Yet his resume includes 2 season-ending knee injuries, 2022 and 2023, casting doubt on his durability. Pairing him with Justin Herbert could elevate the offense, but the specter of re-injury is daunting. Would you roll the dice at 22? Similarly, Benjamin Morrison, a cornerback with first-round traits, brings elite size and press coverage skills, ideal for the Chargers' secondary. However, his injury log is troubling. A high school hip issue, shoulder surgery in 2023, and dual hip surgeries in 2024. Consecutive major procedures on the same joint signal? A significant risk for a position demanding agility. At 22, I'd steer clear. Immediate contributors trump potential in this spot. Do you concur? Running back Trayvon Henderson from Ohio State offers another case study. A 2022 foot fracture and 2023 knee-ankle setbacks required surgery, sidelining him for games. His full participation this season is encouraging, but lingering durability questions persist. He could complement Najee Harris with his burst, yet his capacity to withstand an NFL workload remains unproven. Then there's Ole Miss wide receiver Trey Harris. 1,000 yards in 7 games is remarkable, but knee surgery, 2023, and hip groin issues, 2024, temper his stock. A second-round value, perhaps, but too uncertain for round 1. Which of these profiles, if any, would you greenlight? Next, we turn to prospects with inflated hype but underwhelming production. Shamar Stewart, Texas A&M's edge rusher, garners top 10 buzz, boasting athleticism reminiscent of Myles Garrett. Yet his 3-year stat line, 79 pressures, 12 quarterback hits, pales beside Aiden Hutchinson's 75 pressures in a single season. His pass rush arsenal remains unrefined, relying heavily on raw speed. At 22, the Chargers need impact, not a developmental project. I'd pass. Mykel Williams, Georgia's defensive end, follows a similar pattern. Top 15 projections, but just 26 pressures and 15 run stops over 2 years. His tape shows promise, but he's a coaching bet. Viable at 22 or too speculative? Michigan running back Donovan Edwards epitomizes this disconnect. His athletic testing ranks 3rd among backs, yet his production, 497 yards last year, 592 this year, lags with a dismal 64th ranking in yards after contact. His pass blocking and receiving skills intrigue, but he's a day 3 pick, not a premium selection. Production versus potential. Where do you draw the line for the Chargers? Inconsistency on film presents another hurdle. Iowa's Kaleb Johnson, a round 2 candidate, dazzles against top defenses like Ohio State, showcasing perimeter speed and power. Yet, against UCLA and Nebraska, he disappears, stagnating at contact and failing to generate hidden yardage. He's a scheme-specific fit, not a Charger at 55. Jard Wilson, a heralded center, dominates Kentucky but flounders against Texas, exposing technical flaws. The Chargers need interior line stability, but his variance is a red flag. Arizona wide receiver Tylan McMillan? Early 300-yard outbursts fade to inconsistency. Drops in press coverage struggles evoke Quentin Johnston parallels. Too erratic for 22. Which inconsistent prospect intrigues you most? Finally, limited resumes pose risks. Ohio State corner Darian Porter boasts strong tape and testing, but has logged just 694 snaps since 2020. 425 this year at age 25. A day 2 upside play, not a first-rounder. Oregon defensive tackle Derek Harmon? After 35 pressures in 2 years, he led the nation post-weight loss. A breakout worth vetting at 22. Tennessee edge Omar Norman-Lott, a pass rush specialist, lacks run defense chops. Insufficient for the Chargers' needs. One-year wonders or part-timers? Who's worth the investment? Where does this leave the Chargers? This draft's depth, particularly at defensive tackle, offers flexibility. Impact players linger beyond round 1. I'd prioritize a disruptive interior lineman at 22. Derek Harmon could be a steal if his ascent holds. Alternatively, a slipping tight end or receiver might warrant a round 2 trade-up. The strategy hinges on balance. Proven commodities with calculated upside. Free agency has fortified their foundation. Now the draft must elevate them to playoff contention. Offense or defense first? What's your stance? The Chargers stand at a crossroads. A precise strike could cement their rise. A misfire could stall momentum. These risk-laden prospects underscore the razor-thin margin between success and setback. I'm optimistic they can thread the needle. What's your outlook? Who's your sleeper pick, and how should they navigate this class? Share your insights below. I'll be engaging with your responses. Subscribe, like, and join the discussion. How do the Chargers maximize this pivotal offseason?